Please take your seats as the show is about to begin.
Beginners to the stage.
Okay, we have clearance.
Stand by curtains.
Quiet, please.
Stand by Q1.
Break a leg, everyone.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chorley Theatre.
I'm really sorry. I don't think I can marry you. No! I don't want to marry you. You ruined my life. You ruined me. I can't go anywhere by myself because of you. You've taken away all my confidence, all of my independence. I honestly don't know what is a lie and what is the truth anymore. If people tell me the sky is blue, then I really have to think if that's true or not. Honestly, would you want to spend the rest of your life with someone who would lie rather than admit that they've done something wrong? Even if it's the tiniest thing, how is it you can't admit that you make mistakes? As then, you would have to change your behaviour. Here's the thing. All humans make mistakes. It's actually okay. Not for me. I need to see mistakes before they happen. Oh, not just mine, yours too. If you make a mistake, and I could have seen it coming, then I also get the blame. You made it so that I am constantly walking on eggshells. I'm in constant fear that I will do something wrong. And by your standards, that's absolutely anything you decide, which means a constant anxious feeling. And then after that, I'll get it in the neck and feel 1,000 times worse. And that's really not a way to live. Funny thing is, you tell me that I do it on purpose. Like anyone at all would do something that would purposely get them slated, abused and degraded. The amount of names I've been called. I could write a book called What Not to Call Someone You Love. You have successfully trained me like a dog, as you said you would. My self-esteem is non-existent. Would have to be to stay with you. I'm so trapped. Like there's no escape from this. Your ultimatums have kept me here. Made me buy a house with you. So that I have no safety at all in my life. And now, I said yes. Even though I know this is completely the wrong thing to do with my life. I feel stuck. I don't know what to do. Every night, I go to bed crying, waiting for tomorrow, hoping it's an okay day. That you don't list off all the things wrong with me. I can't marry you. Hey, babe. Ooh. Really? They've got a date for us this year. I thought we said we'd wait 2 years. Yeah. I suppose 10 months away is fine. Yeah. Totally. Book us in. Love you too.
When Chloe and Paul first started seeing each other, they spent a lot of time together. In fact, Chloe inviting us all to the wedding was the first time I'd spoken to her in a while. It was a lovely ceremony, wasn't it? There were no racist speeches from elderly relatives, no belated declarations of love, no one proposed, thank goodness. I wish there'd been an actual band though instead of just a DJ. When we were first talking about bands, I was a little bit cheeky. I tried to get my nephew's Ska Revival band a gig. I said, I've heard this group on the local radio called The Contractors. I don't know why I lied. She would have found out eventually. But she just smiled and laughed and said, I'm not allowed to listen to ska anymore. At first I thought she just meant for the wedding, but why would she say any more? Imagine a grown woman not being able to listen to whatever she wants in her own home. Not that she ever professed any interest in ska in the first place, but still. It was the maid of honour's idea to get a DJ, and that was only after we waited so long that all the best bands were booked. I hadn't met Julia before the wedding planning had started. In fact, I didn't even know that Chloe had gotten so close to her fiance's sister. Before she disappeared, I would have said maybe someone like Christine or Stella, maybe even me would have been maid of honour. She would have been mine, but now, who knows? It's not like I'd started writing a speech or anything. I mean, I'd come up with a couple of ideas, but I could certainly do a better job than Julia. I don't suppose she'd want to hear a little bit. No? No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. There was just this one bit I was really proud of. We were talking about how surprised I was when she first stopped coming into the studio, and how when I saw Paul's Lambo I was like, okay, fair enough. And then I go on to say about how much I miss her at work, and how she always showed me how to use a photocopier when it had a software update, and how she was my only ally against that fascist supervisor Kylo Ren. Well, we used to call him Darth Vader, but then we thought we'd best update it. And then go on to say, well, if he actually looked like Adam Driver, perhaps Paul wouldn't be the one sat in that seat over there. I'd then go on to talk about Chloe's exes, like Michael. Not Mike, Michael. He was so pretentious. He didn't even own a television. It's like, Chloe, you're supposed to steal your boyfriend's Netflix, not the other way around. And then there was Seth. Oh, Seth. He did shorten his name. He just chose the wrong half. Seth was a self-described feminist. In fact, all he did was describe himself. He couldn't get a word in. I don't know Paul very well, but he can't be that bad, can he? I mean, there was that business with the whole wedding menus, but what's a wedding without a few surprises, eh? I mean, Chloe did say a couple of times that she didn't want fish, but it doesn't matter. Hey, on the way out, I went up to them both and I said, hey, now it's official. You can listen to all the ska you want and there's nothing he can do about it. Because, you know, what's he going to do? Divorce her? I didn't say that last part. She did look kind of funny though. I thought, well, it is a wedding, she's probably had a few. But then Julia came up to me. She grabs me by the shoulder and she snarls. Why would you say that? I said, what? I was just having a joke. Now Paul thinks Chloe's been gossiping about him. He's not very happy. How unhappy could he have been? It was his wedding day. Do you really think they're still on about that now? How Chloe said Paul said she couldn't listen to ska. Don't worry then. I definitely think this marriage is going to last. They'll be seeing a lot of each other. I just hope it's worth it.
Get an allotment, they said. It'll be fun, they said. I suppose it depends on what your definition of fun is. Back in the day, it was drinking myself into a near coma, but stopping short enough to keep all my major organs and limbs functioning, which enabled me to have casual sex with the first person willing. Now it would appear that fun only happens when you are knee-deep in mud, chasing rats, and worrying about why your beans are wilting. Some of us have a vision in our head about how an allotment works. All warm summer days, gentle breeze, the bees buzzing, and you pop a few seeds in the ground, walk away, and a few weeks later a miracle has happened. And voila, the perfect crop to harvest. If only this was so. Weeds! Who the bloody hell thought they were a good idea? The winter lulls you into a false sense of security as you look out over a largely weed-free plot, and it deludes you into thinking you have won the weed war. But oh no, they wait for you to turn your back, and I swear to God, by the time you have got to your car, they are popping out, from under paving, plastic membrane, old pieces of carpet, gesticulating at you. In a virtual world, there'll be one of them emojis of a dancing weed waving 2 fingers at you. So the annual battle commences in May, and the joy of being married to an old hippie vegan type is that we don't use any pesticides, weed killers, fertilisers. So, hand-to-hand combat it is. On the subject of weeds, Manjit from the council, lovely lady, has rules like No plot should have more weeds than can be removed in 1 hour. Some of those plots, you would need the entire cast, crew and audience of Gardener's Question Time to make any progress in a week. Every now and again, Manjit from the council sends us one of those generic bollocking emails warning us that she will be doing her patrols and we will be sent a stern letter if anybody fails the Monty Don test, which involves proof of no use of single-use plastic and a couple of golden retrievers. Oh, which leads me on to the more sensitive subject of death. And there is a lot of it on the allotment sites. Seemingly healthy people. I acknowledge the age range is rather high. Just drop dead. I thought this ever so peaceful pastime was supposed to be good for your health and your well-being. And then there is the dilemma of what is the appropriate length of time after someone has passed that you can go and strip out their plot. Manjit from the council doesn't have a rule about that in her newsletter. Old Malcolm tells me that the protocol is 3 months after the proclaimed death. As we unscrew the padlock off a shed belonging to, very nice, but dead, Derek. Inside was a lovely wheelbarrow and some straw that I wanted for my soft fruit. Nice Derek. Wouldn't disapprove of our recycling, I tell myself. Oh, and his gladiolus are coming up a treat in the planters in our yard. And so, at the end of all of this digging and weeding and checking for pests and feeding and not falling out with the allotment community, oh, and not getting caught by Manjit from the council, what do you get? Well, I was told you would get fresh fruit and vegetables that actually tasted of something like we used to in the old days before all this mass production in a Dutch or Spanish polytunnel. Well, they taste of something all right. Dirt! I'm sorry, but the overriding taste sensation is of mud. Dirt, the ground. Oh, yeah, and probably a few bugs in there as well. For protein, yum. Please tell me when I start having fun, please.